welcome to Linda's Kitchen with your guest cook, Auntie.
Okay, we're making galettes today.
And you're going to take one egg white from a not super fresh egg, and you're just going to beat it so it gets frothy. You can threaten it a little if you need to. Come on, beat. Okay. So now it's a little frothy. You're going to take 2 tablespoons of Greek non-fat plain yogurt.
Is that already pre-measured?
Yes. Well, you know, one thing about your auntie, she measures nothing.
So you said that's tablespoons?
Well, I don't say. It's about 2 tablespoons.
Okay.
Here or there, more or less. Nothing is
And it's
exact
just plain,
in Auntie's
right?
world.
It's just plain.
Plain, non-fat Greek yogurt. And you're going to whisk that in there too so it gets a little mixed in. Nice and smooth. So if you had a very, very fresh egg white,
Yep.
I would add a tiny bit of water just to make it looser.
Okay.
Because whatever liquid is in there, you're going to cook it off kind of when you see the steam rising. You'll think it's burning on the bottom, but it's
Okay, so
not.
it turns
So
out-
yeah,
kinda
right
looks like
there.
that.
So right now I have my pan, my nice 12-inch non-stick omelet pan, and I'm going to take and get that heating up on low, just so the pan is nice and warm when I go to put that in.
Okay.
And now I'm going to add my, let me make a mess because that's what I usually do.
Okay. So do you don't put your seasonings in first?
No.
Okay.
So again, I said I don't measure anything. So it says in the recipe 2 tablespoons of oat bran, but this is like 1.5 right there. So then I just go like, hey.
Okay.
I like to keep a spoon in there. And it's okay if there's a little more. It's just a little more fiber. It's
Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
You know, you don't want to do too much of anything, but you gotta feel. Then you add the seasoning. And I don't measure that either. I just go, does that look good? Yeah. I like a lot of seasoning because I want it to really be popping in my mouth. And we have some nice red pepper flakes here. A little less of that. So when I use the ground, I do probably a little bit more. But red pepper flakes tend to have a lot more oomph to them. Okay, now you take your spatula and you're just going to start mixing it in here.
Okay, hold on.
And
I'm coming
walk it
over.
over to your fire.
You're coming over.
You want to get it all mixed in. Okay. So that you don't have like a clump of the bran. And that is just oat bran, not oatmeal.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to put up the heat a little bit just to make sure that I can get that spreading. If it's too hot to start, you get it bubbling all over the place and you can get a mess.
Okay.
Okay. Spatula that. And you just shake it around till it spreads all around your pan. I like that shake.
Yeah, well, good.
I got this one too.
Okay. We want this to say PG.
Okay, so now I got it nice to the edges. Put up my heat just a little bit more.
And
Okay,
now
now
we wait.
you're not going to flip it for a while. So do you have a very thin spatula?
I do. I'm gonna pause it.
Okay. Part 2, the galette has been, what do they say, forgetting. We forgot about it for a few minutes so that it could get nice and hot. And you see that it's starting to pull away on the edges. And you say, oh, that's ready to go. And you know what? This time it is. Sometimes it's not, and you have to just think. But when it starts lifting at the edges, you know it's ready. This has to be, see how it looks pretty much dry. It's a little bit wet right there.
Yeah.
But it's dry enough that you can go and flip it. Sometimes at home I get very fancy and I flip it in the air, and it's so cool. Because I feel very talented. One time I missed. I didn't feel talented.
All right, so how long do we keep it here
So
now?
now this is just going to be momentarily, but see how that's a nice color.
That is a nice color.
You know, and it
the
could go
heat
darker.
looks about,
Yeah, so right now on
Yeah.
your stove I have it at 4. So on my stove that would probably be lower. Yeah.
all right, so we're going to pause
But-
again
Um,
until we're ready.
yeah, so well, you can just see that it's starting. You don't want it to stick. You want it to be able to move. Sometimes you can tell right away that it's ready to flip because it'll loosen up and start moving like that. So even if you were to
Did you put anything on the pan to start?
I always wipe the pan, even though it's a non-stick, I wipe it with oil. Put
Okay.
oil on a paper towel and I wipe it with the oil.
Okay.
That's just me. I just feel like it helps the non-stick work better.
Okay.
Um,
And then.
and then and you should have a nice thin spatula like that. You know, some spatulas have a dull edge,
Mhm.
and it just doesn't work well.
Okay.
But say something happened and you misjudged when you're going to flip this. It's okay. If you don't mind an ugly galette,
Yeah.
it's still going to taste the same,
Right.
right? So you can the longer you let it cook on either side, the drier it will be. You know, the texture will be drier. It'll never be a crumb like bread. But it's not bread. It's just what you use instead of using bread.
Right. Right. And it's only made of
It's
the
a
ingredients that you put in,
Very
which is
simple.
no flour at all.
Right.
No
Very, very
milk,
simple, you know?
just the yogurt.
Let's see if I can get
Oh, she's gonna get brave. Here we go.
that. So if it don't go further than that, it's not going to flip the way you want it to. It's
Okay.
got to slide up the edge.
You gotta know it. Okay.
Yeah.
You let us
You
know
gotta-
when you're ready.
So it's not going to flip it. But you can see it only takes a little bit on the other side. So this would be a little bit moist feeling in the center right now. But that would be perfect if you don't mind the moist texture, which I don't. But if you wanted to, you can let it go a little bit longer. And then what I do sometimes when I make it like this,
Yeah.
like say you want to have a pizza. Everybody's having pizza, but you don't want to have that bread, but you want pizza. Use a nice, well-cooked one, right? Maybe when you cooked ahead of time, cook some really nice and dry so that when you take them out, you can put your sauce on it. You can put some broken up meatballs on there, little pieces of pineapple if that's what you like, whatever you like on there.
Right.
Especially more protein stuff, the better, right? Throw your cheese on top, pop it in the oven. and let it-
Or
Under the broiler.
we have a what do you call it? Air fryer.
Yep, or an air fryer. You just pop
So
it
it
in,
doesn't-
so that it'll
It like does it quickly.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have a pizza that you can eat without gluten,
Nice.
and it's delicious. That's what I do.
That's awesome. All right. Thanks, Auntie. We're gonna see if this is about done, and
Yeah, I'll
think it
call it
is.
done for.
all right. Well,
Sandwich.
thank you, Auntie, so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Let's do this again
We
sometime.
will.
I never cook. Only galettes.
Love you.
Love you too.